this you usually find in big old buildings, maybe a lot higher, to take all that wear down below. Easier maintenance, not having to always paint those large areas of wall. In properties like this, they're just there as a feature really. But when you do put these in, make sure you put them in correctly. There is two things wrong with this. One is blindingly obvious, which was visible in the other video, and the other one at this stage is not that obvious. It will only show itself when you put a pattern paper on this. I'll start with the most obvious. This is the one that stood out when I walked in the room. Usually, when you see dado rail, that's how it sits. Yeah. I've turned my camera upside down because this one is upside down. Now, it could be down to personal preference, but generally, whenever you see this, it's not this way up. So, just for cleaning, this surface will gather dust. So will this one. But when you come to wipe, if I go down to this corner, because this is effectively concave, the mitre in the corner is quite a deep concave there, and any muck will get trapped. If it's this way up, it's a lot easier to clean. We'll have a look at the one that's the least obvious. Well, with the second one, it's only when you start to look a bit harder, even get your tape measure out and go round. But if you notice on this rounded edge, the dado rail, where it sits, and then on this side, this rounded edge, it's sitting more in line with this bit of moulding on the door, whereas this one here is sitting almost just below it. So I've been round and had a look, and I think that the dado has been fitted from here around the room, because as we progress around the room, this is dropping further. Notice it more near the window. So we take a look on, this is the left hand side of the window. You just look at this top edge where it sits with the lead at the back, slightly above. On this side, almost in line. So I can only assume started at that end, taking it round, finishing here. It's not the window that's out. I'll get my tape measure out now. So I've got my tape measure there at the top of the coving. Brought it down to the top of the dado there. I've fed this in at the top of the coving there. And again, down here we're saying 4 foot and 3/4 inches, ½ inch out from that other end to here. So if you were putting a pattern paper on this, if you say it was squares and you had no squares, And by the time you start coming round, you'll start to see the top edges of your squares and they'll just get bigger all the way around. It'll look absolutely terrible. When you're putting this in, you either use a laser level to strike a line all the way around the room and go off that, or you take one measurement and use a spirit level to bring it all the way around, following that line. Don't ever take another measurement, because if your skirting board's out or that coving is out, then that's most certainly going to end up running out. So if you put that, say if you started here, took a measurement off the coving, one measurement, and strike a line, and then just keep continuing with that line. Don't try taking another measurement off this wall, because the chances are, if that coving's been put up, the adhesive, if no one's level that coving when that coving's gone on, then everything else will be out. And also, depending on what height this goes in at, really this is possibly too low. And something like this, you wouldn't really want to return. You just terminate it here, the mitre and an end piece just shy of the end of the wall. And then that way, when your curtains sit in, it would be hidden from that side, and you just don't end up with this strange little piece. So fortunately for me, although this is running out, this is going to be lined top and bottom, white on the top and grey down below. So again, something like this, it's going to look funny. We're going to have the white wall, bit of dado, bit of grey, and then the white sill. Better to have removed that and just mitre and finished at the end there. Like I say, this will be getting lined and painted, but if you were putting a paper on here, you'd better go for something that doesn't necessarily have a pattern throughout. So this is a pattern paper, but it's quite a plain paper with just generally stripes, which would suit something like this if it was wrong. But flowers that are set out, or a general pattern within the paper, then would show up. You'd have half a flower running through to a full flower, depending. Something like that would be suitable.